Now, let me take my time with this because the first question I want to ask you is, what was your issue with Troy Ave? I know you talked about it before, but what was your issue with him?
My issue with Troy Ave was it was a couple of things. We had a couple of interactions that the way that he conducted himself just was opposite. Like we just didn't mix. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of occasions that he did shit that just was, to me, that was whack and corny, and but they didn't merit enough for me to talk about it. They just merit enough for me to say, yo, I just don't fuck with him. Like we just moved
From
different.
personal encounters that
Yeah,
you
it's
had
from
with
personal
him.
encounters. Like those it was 2 or 3 occasions that he did shit that I was like, yeah, this ain't type of nigga I will fuck with. So let me just separate myself. But the reason why I became vocal was, when the situation happened with one of my friend, my close friend Trife, his brother, who was Troy Ave's friend, and he lost his life. And however he lost it, the response that Troy Ave gave, when he was doing interviews and the way he talked about Trife and the way he talked about being his family, his mother, and the way he was talking down to these people after their son lost their life on the situation that he had was just out of line to me. So it pushed me. It was like, all right, you already did this shit and I let that go. And my man is calling me like, yo, you see what's going on? You hear this? And I'm like, why would a nigga do this? Why would he talk about that man's mother? Why would he talk about, yo, you don't fuck with your brother and he never fuck with, like, why would these be conversations that you would want to have while these people are grieving their son?
Weren't they attacking him though?
No, they had conversations because they were saying, why aren't you here? Why aren't you doing these things? Like, you're not at the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things, like, you still having conversation about him, talking about him, and not even letting us grieve. Like, regardless if they talking about him, you supposed to, it's like anything. Your man lose his life. His mother's mad, but everybody mad. But you like, yo, I respect, I'm not even gonna say nothing about that.
That's true.
Like, that's just real nigga shit. That's the school I come from. Exactly. I'm not gonna be like, yo, fuck with his brother. Say he don't even fuck with his brother and his moms. I don't know. I ain't see them do this. I put up this amount of money. I was doing like, that's not some shit that you say about a nigga that lost his life, in a situation with you that you say is a brother. Like, it just wasn't real shit to me. So it caused me to react. And then watching the whole interview and the way he was pushing it was like, this was some movie shit. Like, yo, I'm gangster, nigga. I did this and this and that. And it's just like, for what? This ain't the time for that, my nigga. Like, these kids is looking at you and they basing their life off some shit. And you not, I don't think you taking this shit serious. Like you facing life in jail, you facing prison time, and you still trying to make it seem like you did some gangster shit because you want to sell records. You want niggas to think you just this immovable object, like you just this big gangster. And I'm like, for what? For what? This is the time right now to just be like, yo, this is some fucked up shit, man. But don't wait now, after you do all that, and then when it come down, the streets is a myth. But you was just selling all of this. So it was just so many contradictions to me, in the way he carried himself, and it just was like, and this was a close friend of mine, and after having a conversation with him, knowing he not in that field, I was the person that wanted to be vocal and say something about it.
So, let me see. So, the things that he did before, was it like music stuff to you? Like,
no, it wasn't no music stuff. It was
personality.
It just was corny shit. It just.
What makes it? Because it may not be corny to me.
It might not be corny to you. It's just corny shit, man. It's like,
you don't think you overreacted. You don't think that. You don't think you. Because sometimes when we come across somebody based off of his, because I've been around him before, I can see a type of, he's cool, but I can see what type of energy that he might give off. I'm saying, like, is it a conversation?
It's a conversation.
So
it was
response to certain things. That's what I'm asking you. Like, did it become like a personality thing?
It was a personality clash. It was on more than 2 occasions that we had personality clashes.
But y'all didn't have an argument. It was
No, we didn't, because I didn't push it to that way. I didn't do that. Like one time we had I think it was probably a Wu-Tang concert or some shit. I forgot. It was either Dipset, Wu-Tang, or something. I think we at the Garden. And him and Raekwon is taking a picture. Him, Raekwon, I think Meth and somebody else. So Raekwon be like, come on, Mice, you're Mice. Jump in this picture. I jump in the picture. I ain't even thinking about Troy Ave. I'm not thinking nothing. So boom, a week or 2 later, we in the airport. We just chilling. I'm coming. I see him. He like, oh, yo, what's up? I'm like, what's up? I get a nigga now. He called, yo, come over here. So I come, I'm like, what's up? He telling his man, he like, yo, guess what happened? Last week, I'm taking a picture with the nigga Raekwon, right? And I look at my picture, this nigga in the picture, he done photobombed the picture. I'm like, how this nigga get in my picture? Yo, you a funny nigga, how you jumped in that picture? So I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He like, yo, this nigga, he's serious. He ain't joking. You know how you joke about some shit? Yeah. I'm like, my nigga, what do you mean photobombed the picture? I'm like, and he was making it seem like I wanted to jump in the picture with him. And telling a nigga, a grown man, this. So my man looks at me like, what is he talking about? He was dead serious with this conversation though. So I'm like, I would, in a normal, I'm like, my nigga, what are you talking about? Fuck you mean? Like, you ain't serious. There ain't no reason for me to get no picture with you. Like, but I didn't do that. I just said, I laughed it off and walked it off. But like, let me just stay away from this nigga.
I see how
you understand? Like,
I can see now.
So another situation, we in the club, me and my niggas in the section. He walks in the club with his niggas, all of us standing there. He tells the bouncer nigga to tell us to move. Cause they want to stand there. I'm not going nowhere. I told the bouncer nigga that I'm not going nowhere. And then the bouncer went and told somebody else. I see him tell a nigga like, yo, them niggas ain't supposed to be up there. Tell them niggas to move. Corny shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I know you ain't coming over to me, and then you did some sucker shit, so you don't come give a nigga a pound. It's just sucker. Just the way you move is just different than the way.
Moving?
No, I wasn't going nowhere. You know I'm not going nowhere.
I didn't know the club.
Come on, Flip. Nigga ain't gonna make me. I'm not going nowhere.
I just wanted to prove that I can see why you was in the streets. Yeah, it came out.
I'm not, so
yeah, I trapped you. Welcome. I'm Vlad Jr. now.
Yeah, no, but that was. But at the end of the day, but it just was shit like that. So I say, you know what? We not the same type of
dude.
So I know where I'm willing to go about something, so I'm just gonna stay away from you.
So what were you vocal about? I saw a couple of things in 105 and a couple of things, but you were vocal, about how he handled the situation and how he portrayed to be a tough guy. Mm-hmm. And we all are aware that the situation that transpired is on camera, yes? Mm-hmm. We all are aware also that he was able to come out of a situation. He got hit, but he came out of the situation with his life. Then there's another situation where something attempt on his life where he was driving and he came out of that as well. Mm-hmm. And why? What do you think? You think that his message should be something else instead of him being, because he did say the streets is a myth. Do you think that his message should be something else? He should be more humbled. Do you think that? Because Tupac, after he got hit, he turned up as well. Yes?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Thank you. I appreciate you being honest.
So what I'm trying to say is there's a level of authenticity that certain niggas be lacking. I'm like, I feel like I'm a good judge of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of niggas in the industry that feel the same way. Like if you speak to 90% of the real niggas that's really in the streets and industry, they have the same conversation about them, man. And they niggas don't talk about it. It ain't some shit that niggas actually say because it's like whatever. But most of the niggas feel the same way. So we just conflicted. Like the way his message was, like you see, he was the nigga that come home and tell the niggas, yo, I was in the yard, my nigga, and I had this, and me and my man was backing it out, and we was about to cut these niggas because we gangster. And I was the nigga like, yo, they don't need to go to jail, my nigga. Like, ain't nothing cool about that shit. That's some sucker shit. So our messages is different. You understand what I'm saying? I would message. Tupac was talking about shit in his songs, and he was making, but when he was having interviews, like, yo, these niggas almost took my life, my nigga.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, when the reality came and niggas was talking about, he was like, yo, this shit was real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like, yo, these niggas backed out. I backed out this, and I like, nobody want to hear that shit. Like, you doing that? That's for you. You want to do that, but you lying to these babies, man. Cause 9 out of 10 times you just got lucky, nigga. You supposed to be dead. If a nigga shot you in the head, you minutes. No, I'm not trying to be. If a nigga shot you in the head, you take that shit as a prayer, right or wrong.
Facts.
You ain't sitting there talking about, yo, I'm gangster. He's talking about a sucker nigga can't kill a real nigga. What? Sucker niggas kill real niggas every day. Those how real niggas die. Other real niggas don't be killing them. Real niggas and real niggas usually be on the same page. A sucker scared nigga or shoot a nigga in the back and run up on him when he ain't paying attention. So the messages was wrong. Like, at the end of the day, that man got to live with his own karma, you know, and he got to deal with that however he deal with it, you know, and that's it.
Would you have ever have a conversation with him?
I don't feel like it's nothing for us to talk about.
See, I have to get at you about that.
I'm just being honest as a man.
Because you pushing a message to the youth, so why you can't show that you're able to push egos and pride aside and have a conversation with a man and basically reason with him and let him know how you feel personally.
Farrakhan said everybody ain't gonna get along.
Oh, don't bring up the legend like that. Don't bring him up. You bugging.
You know what I'm saying? That's one of my mentors. So
don't bring him up.
I'm just being honest
like that.
Because I want you when you talk about my message, I'm telling you one of the men who have the same message that's about brotherhood.
But he's not against sitting down with someone.
No,
see, there's a difference. He's not against sitting down with somebody. He tried to bring 50 and Ja Rule together.
No, I hear what you're saying.
He's not against.
What my thing is this. I personally, I'm not there yet.
Respect.
Because there might be a time when I'd be like, you know what? Maybe we can sit down and have a conversation. Respect. Maybe I feel that it's warranted. At this point, there's nothing that he does or says that makes me feel like it warrants us to have any communication. You know, I still feel like we morally are on two different wavelengths, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just do what you do over there.
You have no comments basically on how the situation is being conducted as far as the song he made, as far as the case. You don't. I don't want to talk about the case because I told Trey, you know what I'm saying, that I was not going to talk about that anymore. You said a line in the Funk Flex Freestyle G. Can you hand us the line that he said, that he stated?
It all started when the snitches get glorified, when they ain't killed Alpo after Rich Porter died.
Mm-hmm.
Break that down for us. I heard that. That line caught me. I felt that's a pretty brave. You know,
because Alpo's running around taking pictures of people.
Yeah,
I know.
He's out here.
Yeah, he's out here. So I don't understand. And people get mad at me. You know, shout out to, once again, you know, I don't know how you feel about my man, but he sent the message for you. But, you know, King Erna and Leak Moss, you know, they get, you know, in Rock, they get upset saying that I'm glorifying rats. But it's not glorifying rats. I don't glorify a rat. I feel that a lot of people say things about Alpo. Yes. We know Alpo told, yes. Now, when I had a conversation with Alpo on the phone with Paparazzi Po, and we'll get into that, is, you know, he was stating that, you know, he did what he did, just trying to live his life. And he also stated something about Rich Porter, which I'm not here to do that back and forth because I don't really know anything about Rich Porter. I don't know what type of person Rich Porter is. Only the people that was there should be able to talk about that. That's not my place. But what I'm saying is that people talk about him, and he's going around taking pictures with people.
Yes.
Putting his arms around shoulders and taking pictures. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So we can't really blame anybody for glorifying them because the people that were complaining, like you said, nothing happened to him. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you still can blame. It's like I tell you, if you, like I told him earlier, if you a rat and I call you a rat, you can't get mad at me because you ratted. You did the things that classified you as a rat.
What is a rat to you?
A rat is someone who is not willing to deal with the consequences of their own actions. So they tell on someone else so they can deal with the consequences of theirs. See, a civilian can't be a rat because a civilian does not engage in any activity that will put them in a situation to where they would have to tell on somebody. And if they do, it's because they're law-abiding citizens, so they want to do the right thing. But when you are in the streets or you engage in activity, not even in the streets, if you work here, if me and my man say, yo, we gonna do this and that, and then somebody come and say, who did it? Or tell me, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, and you like, all right, it was him. It's because you're scared to deal with the consequences of what you did. You understand what I'm saying? All right, you tell him because you want to get lesser consequences for the shit that you did. So that's not honorable to me. There's no integrity in that. So if that's the type of man you are, and you conduct yourself and you do things that lead to being called that, then you got to deal with that. That's not on me. You know that's a title that you earn. You can't tell me anything about that.
But why go out your way to point it out if we know it already?
Well, if you don't, I mean, every time you say something positive, I'm gonna say, but he's a rat. Because to me,
I didn't say that
because
positive. I just say taking pictures.
No, I'm talking about anybody. Whenever somebody go, because you can't tell me, oh, nigga, Poe is one of this and that, and you glorify him. And I'm like, but Poe told on everybody.
Rats are various medium-sized, long-tailed rodents.
Yes, that's what it is. That's
for the rat.
Yeah, that's the Webster's dictionary. But the Webster Avenue dictionary. Webster Avenue dictionary is the one I gave you.
Do you know about King Erna? Have you ever heard of him?
I've heard of him. I'm not really in tune with him, but I've heard his name a few times.
And have you watched? You heard about the whole honor snatching and stuff that he does. Have you ever heard that? Like
I heard something about. I'm not really in tune with the brother, but I hear that he seems morally sound.
Yes,
from where.
Yes,
I feel like he come from the same ideology and school that I come from, like based on what I hear.
And I noticed that he snatches honor. Basically, I think he does it a little bit more vicious. It causes issues because story. We had King Erna up here for a show called On the Line, where we take live calls, and Paparazzi Poe called me with Alpo on the phone. Now Alpo stated that I heard you have King Erna up there. What do you want me to do? I said, yo, you guys can't come to my studio because one, you need a password to get upstairs, and two, I'm not with, this is my business. And both gave me their word they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Alpo told me what he told me. I was on the phone for him about 30 minutes. And, he told me about Rich, how he felt about Rich, how people glorifying Rich, but Rich was like him, except for the telling part. As far as like, because they made it seem like Rich was, this is what he told me, all the stuff he told me. So I'm like, all right, I'm just listening. Okay, cool. And they gave me a word. So long story short, Paparazzi Poe ends up outside though. He didn't do anything, but he took a picture of King Erna being here, and I got offended because, and today everybody was on live today, and I was offended because it's like you gave me your word, and Leek Moss and King Erna and Rock, these dudes came up here and they respected my home. My son was up here too.
But that's the shit that paparazzi do. He do corny shit like that.
Well, hold on.
I seen him do it a few times.
I was mad.
That's his thing. He go to where you at, supposedly at. He take pictures. Like that's his thing.
I was mad at him, but then some people also felt that I was just mad at Poke. I'm like, yo, you gave me your word. But he didn't do nothing. But I felt like you shouldn't have came to the studio.
Yeah, because what you did was you made it seem like you put these people in a situation because he told you he wasn't coming. You probably said, yo, ain't gonna be none of that shit here. These niggas come here. And if you would have told them, they would have been prepared for that. But don't make it seem like you taking pictures of niggas and you on them and you could do something to a nigga. Like what you doing is you fucking up the credibility of another man. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all. He fucking up what you say, what he told you as a man, and then he trying to make it seem like these niggas is somebody he could have did something to.
But what I'm saying is that real quick is that when I spoke to him today, because he got on live with me today, and because King Erna did something about Freaky Zeke. Freaky Zeke was on the show, was going viral. He did something about that honor snatching, whatever. Paparazzi Poe got on live with me today, asking me about why I'm letting King Erna speak like this, and I got upset at him, and I said, you came to the studio, you gave me your word you wouldn't. That's it. And he said, yo, but Flip, if I didn't respect you, I would have did something. So I was in the middle because it kind of made sense to me. Like, he didn't do nothing, but you still shouldn't have came to the studio. I didn't even know I didn't even give you the address, but apparently we booked him before, a long time ago. We booked him, and when we booked homie, he wasn't able to come, so he still had the address from my old producer.
Yeah.
And then he said, I sent you the picture in private because I was on live one time right over there where you were sitting on live talking to the people about the situation. And he sent me the picture like I was outside of King Erna. I got pissed off. Like, why it threw me off because I'm like, yo, you violate. But some people feel like that he didn't violate because he didn't cross the line. How do you feel about
that's
that?
Everybody. For me, if you give me my word that you're not coming here and you come regardless, what you do is because if you give me your word as a man and I give somebody else my word based on what you told me, then it puts me in a situation like maybe I'm trying to set you up,
make him look funny,
make you look funny. Like you said, you know, you don't even, you said you didn't give them address, nothing. Them niggas just show up to my spot.
Yeah,
they could have did something to me, and the nigga like, yo, that's what y'all doing. Like now, cause I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm like, oh, this nigga. First of all, you did some sneaky shit because you ain't even get out and approach niggas. Yeah. You taking pictures from in a car or undisclosed places where niggas don't even see you, and you making it seem like you did some gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? You doing some 6ix9ine shit. You coming to the block and you standing there. I mean, that's just how I would see it.
Understood.
And I would feel some type of way like, damn, Flip, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Nigga pulling up on me. Like, that's what y'all niggas trying to do. Like, niggas try to get the drop on me. Like, nigga could have put you in a real situation. I
agree.
You know what I'm saying? So people saying, nah,
I have a rapport with him because, like I said, like when I was on the island for the day that I was on there, you know, he showed me a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what people don't like about him. I have my own relationship with paparazzi. I rock with him. I have a personal rapport with him. But I did sort in my notes that you had an issue with him. And what was
he had an issue with me?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He had an issue because I called Alpo a rat. So I get it. That's your pops. You feel some type of way. I get it.
And what did you call him?
I didn't call him anything.
Okay, so you never. You just said that you seen behavior or patterns.
Yeah, because I see like people send me shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about me like trying to get a response. I wasn't. You know, I'm not gonna do that.
Wasn't that this song? It wasn't this song about him?
Who? I never made no this song.
No, this song. I thought I saw something online about that.
What YouTubers do you like?
What you mean? What YouTubers do I like?
What YouTubers did you say that you like? Because somebody asked me a question, and I really don't like saying this dude's name because he threw shots at us. And regardless, even though he showed me love, I just feel like the shots is not necessary. I feel like you shouldn't have to throw shots
to show love.
To show love. I feel that's me. I never in my come up.
I don't really know about YouTube.
Hold on, slow down. Let me you like my speech?
No, go ahead. You asked me a question, and then you went on. See. You did ask me a question first.
Facts.
Okay, but you can finish.
I don't want to say his name, but I'm about to say his name.
Okay.
Somebody asked the question, that's why. So the thing is, he threw shots at us. You know what I mean? And shout out to my man Bino. He said, yo, Flip, you got to think like these niggas. You know what I mean? And I said, well, why? Before, he said, yo, you know, you're going into a lane like that. And I said, why? But why would he throw a shot at me? Anyway, a week later, he said something about how we do interviews and stuff. And I ain't really like it. I really don't say nothing about him. But somebody asked about Gully TV, if I would set up a boxing match between you and Gully TV, would you do it? Now, I don't know the correlation between you and Gully TV. My situation with him is that he threw shots at us, and I feel like we shouldn't tear each other down in order to lift each other up.
But that's what he does. He took something personal that he put something on his page, and I didn't even know who he was. Like, you know, not really. Like, he had some footage interviewing Bang Bang Boogie about 12 years ago and tried to make it seem like we cool with each other. He know me very well and all shit. I don't really know. He know Chi, so Chi is like my brother. So him and Chi, he got relationships. People that I know, they know him. Okay. I don't really know him, but he had some shit where it was a gas station, and the people who were in the gas station was beating up some girls. Like men, they was jumping the girls,
I saw that.
punching them in the face, and he's like, "Yeah, them bitches deserved all that," you know. And I'm like, wow. So somebody DMs me because you know people DM me shit all the time. Like, yeah, them bitches deserve that. I've been, you know, I had a store, and you know, sometimes you got to do that to these bitches. And I'm like, what type of man will glorify men beating up black women? Like this shit is disgusting. So he felt some type of way. Yo, fuck you. Boom, okay, you said that. Don't worry about me. I'm doing my own thing, nigga. Boom. I didn't even respond. Now this is about 4 months later. He got about 12 different posts where he talks about me every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's obsessive. It's kind of scary. And I'm just like, yo, we don't got to do that. We grown men. Just tell me where you at. We pull up. We have whatever you have to say. I want to have a conversation with you face to face, man to man. I don't want to do this back and forth with you. That's not what I'm going to do. I don't want to shoot you. I'm not going to stab you. We both men.
You can fight.
I'm very well versed with my hands. So the bottom line is, if you feel that estranged and you're that angered, that you just want to keep calling out another man's name every day.
I thought about what he said. Hassan Campbell, Tim Diesel.
You know what I'm saying? You feel that anger, then what you need to do is approach that man. You know, stop making blog. Stop making Instagram posts about me every day. Because I'm not.
But what did he say to kind of tick you off? What did he say? Did he say anything about anything disrespectful? Because you seem like a guy that you let Troy Ave said that in front of you and you let it pass because it's better. But what did he say that made you want to challenge somebody?
No, he just say a bunch of shit. His main thing is suck SMD all day.
He said that about you.
He a bunch of them. And I don't even respond to him. Niggas be like, yo, he said, I'm not. He trying to get on my blog. He wanted me to put it on my page so he could get. I get it, you trolling. That shit cute. I'm not gonna play this game with you. Cause I don't play like that. So whenever you see him, you just gotta be who you said you was. That's it. Like I'm all for a good fisticuff match. I'm all for that. Like I'm anti-violent. I don't want you stabbing your brother. I don't want you to shoot him. But every now and then you might have to go in the, like you and Ebro had to, scrap it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little wrestling match. Sometimes you gotta get that testosterone off. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that type of way, so that's what I'm for. Like, I don't want to go back and forth with you. I'm not going back and forth with you on no thing. You called me all these things. You said this. It's on site. We ain't even gotta talk. You just gotta hope you belt like you talking.
But do you think that he meant it to disrespect you?
He said, you listen to me. He's been saying, if you go on his Instagram page, he's got probably about 13 posts. It ain't just one. Every 2 weeks or a week, he put up a post about my son.
King Face, friend of mine.
Yes.
Love him to death. My mother, she feels like because he believes in Trump, it bothers her, but I still love King Face. His loyalty to me is unmatched. But I invited you up here. You asked me if I was trying to.
Yeah, because I know Face was trying to debate me for weeks and months. He always like, just debate me. And I'm like, come on, Face. I'm not. I put you on my page one day. You try to yell over me. The shit you were saying didn't really make much sense, and you still convince yourself that you want to debate. So I'm like, you know what? This kid is dangerous because his followers, they don't care what you say. They just care about what he say. So it don't really benefit you. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I'm like, he's smart. He know what he doing. He got a good thing going on. But you're not gonna use me no more.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
You have no issue with him.
No, nah. We don't have no personal issue. We just we have different ideologies. I think actually he a stand up dude. He stand for what he believe in. Right. We just on different spectrums of what we believe in.
Different sides of the
you know what I'm saying?
That's respect. I like that.
Yeah, I don't got no disrespect for that. I think he a little bugged out. But you know what I'm saying? But as far as respect, I don't have no disrespect for him.
We'll go to the subject. And Hassan Campbell, have you ever watched his blogs? How you feel about his blogs?
Yeah, me and Hassan Campbell, after, the whole thing with Ben Bada, he was feeling some type of way. He tried to call me out in his blog, a couple of times. And then I reached out. He was in my DMs. I was like, yo, call me, my nigga. I'm not doing all this. So we had a conversation as men, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, I appreciate you calling. Like, he was like, yo, I fuck with you. Like, I was just hurt by the fact that, I thought you thought I was going to step up for some shit that got to do with you that I don't know about. I'm going to go and say co-sign some shit that I wasn't there for, don't know nothing. And I just met you in the street one time and I'm going to go and say, yo, I know he did this, that. I'm not doing that. You got to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? When niggas asked me, I told them what you said. Like, what you want me to do? So he's like, no, I apologize as a man. You right. I'm never gonna say nothing else about you again, and we moved on.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He definitely comes together, and sometimes he reacts, and because that's just because what he been through.
Yeah, and I get it. He dealing with trauma, man. That's
trauma.
As
us as in the community, we went through that, but nothing that he been through. As far as like with African Bada is anything to laugh at or should be allowed. But I do commend him for he does come and apologize as a man and he keeps his word and he keeps.
Yeah, he came to me as a man.
Yeah,
I called him.
Hassan Campbell. Yeah.
So.